Session 5 of God with Us, and this time I'm looking at where is God in the waiting. We're not always good at waiting. We lose patience very quickly. There are times when we might be waiting for God to act and we believe He's going to, but He just doesn't seem to be. I heard a speaker the other day saying, with God, a waiting season is never a wasted season. There are times when God calls us to wait for an answer, and there is always a good reason why. The story of Lazarus in John 11 is an example of an answer being delayed. Mary and Martha and their brother Lazarus were great friends of Jesus. In fact, they were so close that when Lazarus got ill, Mary and Martha sent message to Jesus, and they didn't even mention his name. They said, "The one you love is ill." Now, Jesus had healed all sorts of people, and he didn't even know who they were. Surely he would come running when his closest friend was ill. But he didn't respond immediately. He delayed, and Lazarus died. In fact, he'd been dead for 4 days before Jesus got there. He was already buried. The mourners were there comforting Mary and Martha. It does seem a bit insensitive. He couldn't even make it for the funeral. But Jesus knew exactly what he was doing. Martha was a bit cross with him. She came running out when she heard he was in town, came running out to meet him and said, "If you'd been here, my brother would not have died." But she still believed in him, because she followed it up with, "But even now, I know God will give you whatever you ask." So Jesus said, "Well, your brother will rise again." And she said, "Yes, I know. He'll rise on the day of resurrection." And he said, "No, not that." He said, "I am the resurrection and the life." See, he wanted Martha to know that he was the means by which there was resurrection. He demonstrated this at the tomb. He asked them to open the tomb, and they immediately objected and said, "Oh, no, it'd be a terrible smell by now. It's been 4 days." Now, 4 days is significant because there was a belief back then that the spirit of a person would hang around for 3 days, but by the 4th day, it would be gone, so there was absolutely no hope. Jesus called Lazarus forth from the dead, showing that he had the power over life and death. Now, had he gone to the house immediately when he was called, he could have healed Lazarus, and people would have never seen this miracle, never been shown that it was Jesus who had the power over life and death. Having to wait doesn't mean that God is denying what we've asked for. And sometimes Jesus can be glorified through the very thing that we don't want to happen. God often wants to do something in us before he does something for us. Often he wants to teach us patience, teach us to really call on him, teach us to walk by faith and not by sight. If God always met our expectations, then he would never have the chance to exceed our expectations. You see, Mary and Martha wanted a healing, but what Jesus was planning was a resurrection. Psalm 37:7, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him."
My soul finds rest in God alone, my rock and my salvation, a fortress strong against my foes, and I will not be shaken. Though lips may bless and hearts may curse, and lies like arrows pierce me, I'll fix my heart on righteousness, I'll look to him who hears me. Oh, praise him, hallelujah, my delight and my reward, everlasting, never failing, my Redeemer, my God. Find rest, my soul, in